Welcome to some new r/malicious compliance stories, where people comply to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. I hope you had a great day. Thanks for all the likes and comments on the last video. If you would like to support this channel, please hit the like button and consider subscribing if you enjoy the content. And now, let's start with the first story. It's called Technically Correct. I work in a customer service department for a company that has clients who sign contracts with us. Part of these contracts states that if someone makes a full payment for the first term instead of monthly payments, they get a discounted rate. But the full payment has to be scheduled at the time the contract is written and signed. We had a new client today who signed up in the morning with monthly payments. The contract stated that our services were to begin tomorrow, and they made the first monthly payment today. Several hours later, they called to say that they could pay the first term in full so that they could get the discount. As a supervisor, I approved the change and added the discount. I took the full payment, minus the discount, and it looked like a great business relationship. 30 minutes later, someone from another department put me on blast in an email to the whole company. They were saying that because a monthly payment was taken today, I did not have the ability to switch to paying in full and adding the discount. They are technically correct. The pay in full discount is only supposed to be added if they pay the full term, and any payments less than that should disqualify them. They told me to call the customer back and explain why they weren't getting the discount. So I called the customer and gave them the following information. You do not qualify for the pay in full discount because you set up a monthly payment plan at the signing of the contract. Our services do not start until tomorrow. If you cancel now, we will cancel the payment scheduled for today, and you will owe nothing. If you cancel now, you can speak to the sales rep who will set you up with exactly the same contract, but you can set it up as pay in full for the additional discount. If you cancel and then call my extension, I'm allowed to offer you additional discounts to retain your business. Long story short, they cancelled their contract, called me, and then I had sales give them a new contract with a pay in full discount and a retention discount. On top of that, we paid a full day's worth of wages between the additional handling required for the changes. The next story is called Fundraiser. I volunteered with a non-profit service club for almost 2 decades. We had a fundraiser, legally licensed gambling in our country, that would gross 1.5 million per year. There were only a dozen members, so we didn't do much except hang out, volunteer for other charities, and we donate the money with a big presentation check. In 2019, we fired one of the 2 employees for our fundraiser. I agreed to work for 3 months as a contractor at $25 per hour until they found a replacement. I found ways to improve the fundraiser and turned 1.5 million in annual sales into 8 after only 9 months. Then 2020 hit and I revamped everything again to get us 15 mil annual sales, 10 mil net profit in 6 months. I was working hard, putting in 50 to 60 hour weeks sometimes. The club was pressuring me to submit an invoice as I hadn't been paid the entire time. I wasn't motivated to charge anything, since my original intent was to work for free for 3 months. But I finally submitted a discounted invoice for 52k for the past 15 months after we all agreed I'd been working too long, and they dropped the ball in their intention to hire a replacement. They paid, but freaked out on me and accused me of greed, fraud, incompetence, etc. I stuck around, and sometimes got guilted by members into staying after multiple attempts to quit, for another year out of loyalty to my staff. Almost 2 dozen at that point, and the charities I was involved with for decades. But I finally broke and walked away at the end of 2021. Here's where the malicious compliance comes in. Before leaving, I was implementing a 2-part plan for another revamp of the fundraiser to keep up with the huge sales and prizes. Each part had benefits and consequences individually, so they had to be implemented together to balance each other out. The first part took a long time to plan before I left, and once it was ready, it was easy to put the second part in action right away. I reported what I was doing to the club, and they accused me of being incompetent once again for not understanding the consequences of the second part of the plan. They did not understand the big picture, but I was tired of arguing with them. I implemented the first part as they had approved because everything was already changed over and impossible to revert back. I didn't try to convince them at all about the second part being necessary, and left them to deal with the consequences after quitting. A year later, they are accusing me of sabotaging them and not explaining the need for the second part. The fundraiser has fallen apart this past year with less than 2 million in sales, but still with massive expensive as well as a half revamped system bleeding money. They've reportedly lost money this year and have no idea what went wrong. I deleted all my documents and plans when I returned the work laptop to them. Also as Malicious Compliance because they asked for it in an original condition and ready for someone new to use. The third story is called Half the Points. A few years back, I was working in IT for a large hotel corporation. I was pretty far back, so didn't normally take tickets. And when I did, it was never for customers, only other corporate employees. I was a special projects guy. One day, I fire up the ticket system, and to my surprise find a ticket assigned directly to me. Not my group, me. And even worse, it came from legal? This ain't going to be good. I open it, expecting a nightmare, and it's a really simple ticket. Take half the member points from account XYZ and put them in account MNO. Since when does legal care about member points? So I call up legal, make sure this isn't a joke, make sure someone didn't leave a loose keyboard unlocked, and just do my due diligence to make sure it's on the up and up. While I'm holding for legal, I bring up the account. Must have been a salesperson, because we clearly made bank off of them. This guy, or lady, was in day after day, week after week. I forgot the exact amount now, but there were hundreds of thousands if not few million points in this account. Until they weren't. So I have this ticket, says to transfer half. She cuts me off. Court order. Yes, but the problem is court order. So I need to transfer half the points and just shut up? Exactly. I get the effective date of the court order, figure out the amount, transfer about 1500 points from one account to the other, shrug my shoulders and close the ticket. I hope the divorce attorney's fees were worth not even a free night. The last story is called New Manager. I work on the line at a bread restaurant. This morning a cocky new manager opened the store. He came from another store, so he thinks he knows everything and is trying to manage the wrong things. For example, when I'm on the line, I make sure everyone gets a break if they want one. This includes me. I'm not a manager, so I'm not trying to get screwed out of my break by ensuring my coworkers get one too. However, being on the line all morning, I know when the best times for people to go on break are, and who can step in to cover those people. Today though, the manager decided it was his big chance to enforce the rules and make sure everyone went on break. So he assigned us all times to take our breaks. I don't like this guy. He is lazy and never helps out on the line when we need it. So today was my opportunity to sit back and watch it all fall apart. Our catering person had to open the front of the store and be cashier all day, so the line had to do her catering order. No big deal, I used to do catering and would be happy to do it if asked. Will I volunteer to do it? Absolutely not. Not my responsibility when Mr. Manager wants to delegate everything. Instead, he didn't even print the order or tell us to do it until like 9:30. He also didn't ask anyone to do it. He printed it, hung it up on the line and walked back to the office to continue doing nothing. No problem, I start making sandwiches for it. Too bad my break is at 10. When I left for break, most of the catering orders still had to be made. Soups weren't on the line yet and people had started ordering them. Mr. Manager is still in the office. When I leave for break, no one will be available to make the order because they are making the orders on the screen. Not my problem. I let Mr. Manager know the situation, to be nice, and went on break. When I got back, it was a disaster. The order was exactly how I left it. Mr. Manager was still in the office, and only like 2 of the soups had been brought up. It was an absolute crap show, and I had a front row seat. It was so validating to watch it all crash and burn. Maybe this dude will learn to stop trying to fix things that aren't broken, and instead focus on actually helping out. And with that, we end today's video. Let me know what you think about the stories. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the stories and today's video? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like what I do and want to support me, please subscribe and hit the like button. I hope you have a great day. Stay safe. Bye bye.